Shalom, giving all praise to Yahweh Bashem Yahshai Bashem Rakakwada. Shalom to the 144,000 rest of you elect out there. Shalom to you all. Anyway, I'm going to entitle this video. I'm going to make this quick. Let's see where the Spirit takes me, as always. I'm going to entitle this video, Egyptian Origins of the Roman Catholic Church. So that's what I typed into Google. And I'm going to show you that this funeral of Pope Francis, if I'll show certain pictures, I may even show a video, but I'll definitely show some pictures. That's nothing but an Egyptian, what do you call it? Egyptian funeral procession. Egyptian funeral procession. The Roman Catholics are nothing but their culture goes back to the pharaohs' religion. So anyway, like I said, I put in Egyptian origins of the Roman Catholic Church. I didn't know it was going to come up, right? Okay, it says here, the Egyptian origin of Christianity, Lisa Ann Bergen, Amazon.com. If you want to become an expert, you order that book, see what it says. Coptic Catholic Church History Belief. I may click on this. Facts, Britannia. So right here, AI overview. This is the modern Rome, right? This is the new Rome, pursuant to Revelation 13. His deadly wound was healed, and his deadly wound, he was wounded with a deadly wound, Revelation 13, and behold, his deadly wound was healed. The origins of Rome, we're talking 2,000 plus years ago, is based upon the Etruscans, which are the sons of Japhet, Rome, and the Egyptians. The calendar, when you do the research on the Julian calendar, it was the Emperor Julian that he would go back and forth to Egypt. I believe it was Alexandria, Egypt, and I did videos on this years back. And he had to perfect, because that's when they were coming in the power. I believe, Emperor, what was his name? The first emperor, which was Julius Caesar, right? You had the Julian calendar named after him, and he had to perfect the calendar. Calendar mean a call-in, because remember they put when they took those nations down around about them, they set up provinces, which makes it a empire, and they taxed them. They didn't put them in slavery like in America. We serve a chattel slavery. We don't serve chattel slavery. We serve another type of slavery, which is a tribute, which is a tax, and that's what the Romans did. Most people were taxed. They weren't put into, unless you're like certain occupations. If you was a gladiator was nothing but slaves that said, "Okay, you got big muscles. We're gonna make you a gladiator." You had no say to the matter. They showed you that in the movie Gladiator, the first one. I have yet to see Gladiator 2 because I'm mad at Denzel. Okay, especially when he got baptized at a Harlem church with a big picture in the background, supposedly of Jesus Christ and John the Baptist, and they were both white. Come on, you can do better than that, Denzel. I said that anyway. All you motherfuckers that go out to Hollywood, you're all suspect. Anyway, I'm watching this right now. It says Understanding. This is on NBC News. Understanding Pope Francis' Legacy, and this is procession, and also called the liturgy. The liturgy in Roman, where they have the same garments and the order. They have the censer with the incense, and you got this guy singing, chanting, or the cantor in the background that's supposed to replicate what goes on in heaven. But anyway, I'm sorry. Forgive me for rambling. It says, but I'm making sense, I believe. It says, while the Roman Catholic Church's official origins are in Rome, occupied Judea. I didn't know that. It says, while the Roman Catholic Church's official origins are in Rome, occupied Judea. Why Judea? Because that's where the Godhead is. That's in Jerusalem. So really, the Roman Catholic institution is really going back. They really acknowledge Judah, the land of Judah, Palestine, right? But they also adopted Egyptian rites, including the burial rite, Egyptian funeral procession. That's what the Pope, he's in a coffin. That coffin goes back to Egypt. You got the guys carrying him over the river. That represents the masses that are carrying on his. It's like what's 12 men, 6 men, or whatever the case may be. That's them carrying him over the river Styx. Okay, which goes back to Greek culture. But then you got our people. You got to come back to Jesus. You don't know what the hell you're talking about. It's like talking to a kid that's 4 years old, asking your parent, is Santa Claus coming? Santa Claus doesn't exist. But they go along with it. So guess what? You talk to a fucking retarded Christian, they say, you got to come back to Jesus because that's his real name. Like I said, it's analogous to talking to a kid talking about Santa Claus is coming and the Easter bunny rabbit, which, by the way, Roman Catholicism, Easter, they celebrate Easter. Matter of fact, he had his Easter, what do you call it, speech or whatever, the Pope. He was able to say what he had to say, give the Easter blessing, which is pagan, and he said, bless Easter, but this is what he said, his exact words, you can fact check it. He said, Bono Pasach, which means, Bono meaning good, Pasach meaning Passover. So when they say Pasach, they're saying Easter, but they're really saying Passover because Easter came about during Passover. All right, so now it says, while the Roman Catholic Church's official origins are in Roman occupied Judea, the birthplace of the Roman Catholic Church comes from Judea. Why? Because Yahushua was there, the Israelites were there. With traditions tracing back, to the life and teachings of Yahushua, Mashiach, that's what it should be there, not Jesus, no J in the Hebrew. And Christ is a Greek and Latin word meaning anointed. This doesn't mean nothing. There is a strong argument for the influence of ancient Egypt on the development of the faith. So your origins go back to so-called Jesus, which you had a white Jesus, which so-called Jesus is a so-called black man. But they're telling you that the origins also go back, their rights go back to the Egyptians. One of the oldest Christian churches in the world. And the Coptic Catholic Church, which is in communion with Rome, the Coptic Church goes back to the Ethiopians. Both have strong roots in Egypt. Both what? Both the Coptic Church and the Roman Catholic Church both have strong roots in Egypt. When I say Egypt, I'm talking about the Egyptian rites, their culture, their gods. You have, what was it, Isis, Horus, and Seth, I believe. There's 3 of them, Isis, Horus, and Set. and I believe that goes into Set. I think is the baby. That's why you see icons in the Roman Catholic churches of the Madonna and the Child, and that really the Madonna is really Isis, and I believe the baby is Seth, if I'm not mistaken, which goes back to Nimrod and Semiramis, and Semiramis having a son. What's the name of the son now? That's that old Tammuz, which you had Israelites in Ezekiel chapter 8 secretly worshiping, and the Israelite woman mourning over Tammuz, which is the son of Semiramis. So these jakes that call themselves Christians, they're really pagans. That's really the origins of Christianity goes back to ancient Egyptian rites. So you don't got to talk to these crazy bug outs. Just call it, tell them we're not dealing with Christians. If you want to learn this truth and you're a Jake, we believe you might be a Jake. If you want to learn anything, you have to denounce Christianity. You have to denounce it. Other than that, we can't talk to you. We don't want to talk to you. You're fucking retarded. All right? One of the oldest Christian churches in the world. And the Coptic Catholic Church, which you have the Ethiopians, Coptics, which is in communion with, they work together with Rome, both have strong roots in Egypt, making it a significant cradle of. So the cradle, another question to ask a Christian: what is the cradle, or what is the true origins of Christianity? They might say Jesus Christ, but you got to go further back. You got to go back to Egypt, Egyptian rites. You know what? I'm not going to do a whole lot of reading. The Christianity originate from Egypt. Are you listening, vocab? You're an Egyptian. Ancient Egypt gave rise to one of the world's oldest Christian faith. Christianity's origins are found in many places, including Egypt, where Coptic Christianity flourished shortly after the death of the Messiah. Egypt, land of the pyramids, is the setting for many of the best known tales from the Old Testament. Did Romans bring Christianity to Egypt? No, I don't want to know that. Was Jesus ever in Egypt? Yes, according to the gospel. Oh yeah, when the parents. Okay, so I got a point there. Where did Jesus go in the missing years? Now let me see what BS they're gonna come up with. The hidden books of Jesus the Messiah. The missing years of Jesus, and you know what I'm saying, reading it verbatim, between the ages of 12 and 29 are not explicitly detailed in the Bible. Right, so you don't know. While some interpretation suggests he traveled or studied with the Essenes, the Bible does not offer any specific details about his whereabouts during this period. Most scholars believe he lived in Nazareth and worked as a carpenter. It's speculation, right? He stayed with his father, likely learning the trade from his father Joseph, right? His biological father Joseph. And that whole virgin birth thing goes back to Egypt. I'm not going to read no more. Let me do this. The old myth of virgin birth goes back to Egypt. I kind of mumbled a little bit. Jesus versus Horus. was a virgin birth copy from a myth. Yes, we don't teach that. The Roman Catholic Church and the baby churches, the Christianity, the different denominations come from Roman Catholicism. That's why they call themselves Protestants. The idea of a virgin birth, while central to Christian belief, isn't exclusively Christianity. To Christianity, the story of Horus, an Egyptian god, shares some similarities with the Christian narrative. Now, the Egyptian religion, or Isis and Horus and so forth, is before the Messiah coming on the scene. So where did the Christians get that from? They got that from the Egyptians. Origins of Christianity, Roman Catholic Church, goes back to Egypt. I just read that. From the Egyptian myth, does not involve a virgin birth. Isis, the mother of Horus, was already married to Osiris. I'm sorry. So you got Isis, Osiris, Horus, and then you got Seth. Married to Osiris, the son that was born in Horus when Horus was conceived. And the myth describes a complex situation of posthumous sex. I got to look that word up. Not a virgin birth. Let me look this up. Excuse me. Sex post facto. What is posthumous conception? In the usual case of posthumous, I hope I'm reading it right, reproduction, the genetic father or mother would be deceased at the time of conception, or implantation, whereas in posthumous birth, the conception takes place with both parents alive, but the father having died before the time of birth. You go back to the story of Isis, Horus, and Osiris, Horus, and I believe, Horus was supposed to be Osiris coming back. He had sex with Isis, which is all myth, by the way, even in Black Conscience, because we were asking them about their gods. You know what they said? These Egyptian conscience guys, we don't believe in gods, because we were asking them, if you believe in Isis and Horus and Anubis, my question is, what prophecy did they leave y'all? Why are you under the white man? So they had to abandon that thing. So there's no, when you die, you don't go to no fucking Egyptian heaven. There's no Egyptian heaven. Okay, let me see something. Let me bring it back. So I'm all over the place. So they're saying that Osiris, Isis, which these are fictional characters, they don't exist. And before, who was this? Horus was born, his father died. Horus myth, the Egyptian myth of the Horus involving his mother Isis conceiving him through a miraculous act of resurrection and union with her deceased husband Osiris. Horus is supposed to be Osiris coming back. This does not involve a virgin birth in the way the Christian narrative does. Christian virgin birth, which doesn't exist. Ancient concept, the idea of miraculous births and divine intervention was not uncommon in the ancient world. So the so-called Mary having a virgin birth is it's an ancient myth. That's why when you show a Christian in the Bible, nope, but it said need not be. That's why, like I said, call the cops on these fucking Christians. We don't deal with Christians, all right? We don't deal with crazy ass bugged out Muslims either. The story of Jesus, virgin birth, is uniquely Christian, but it is important to understand the broader context of similar myth in other cultures, because the Christians got that from the Roman Catholic Church. Roman Catholics got it from the origins of Egypt. So when you see Mary, the mother, when you see the baby, you always see the mother and the baby. He's like a toddler. That's not Mary and the Messiah. That's Isis and Horus, which is the son of Osiris. See, if you clowns research, you would come out of that shit. That's why we don't deal. Like I said, call the cops on them. Don't deal with no Christians unless they come humble and they really want to learn. So you fill them out. But if you really want to learn, you have to kill the old man. You come in, because what happens when you got Jakes that become Israelites and they become disenchanted for whatever reason? What do they go back to? They go right back to Christianity. They go right back to Christianity. Now I'm gonna get ready to close. I don't want to make this long. So you ain't gonna get this nowhere else. Nate is not gonna go deep like we go deep. All right? Nate goes deep sometimes. Like sometimes he's on point. Sometimes Bishop Nate does a show and we'll say, oh, he's doing it right. He's saying the right thing. He ain't said nothing wrong. So we don't get on him if he's if he's saying the right things. So anyway. I was looking up this guy, Peyton Pritchard. He won, help me out, y'all. He played for the Celtics, won this award. Because who won the last NBA championships? It was the Boston Celtics, thanks to Peyton Pritchard. Which I put in dancing, because I said this guy got to be a Jake. Look like an Edomite, he got to be a Jake. Okay? He playing high level ball. He a Jake. So anyway, what I'm gonna do, ancient Egyptian funeral procession. Okay, here we go. Let's go to images. Okay, again, let me get a good one. Okay, here we go. This is a good one. This is a good one right here. Okay, where's it? I believe this is the coffin. I got to get a good one with the coffin. Let me get one with the coffin. Bear with me for a minute, y'all. Let me do this. Trying to get a clear picture. Okay, here we go. Here we go. I believe I got one. Ancient Egyptian funeral ritual, possession, and mourning. Now look at that. They don't have a coffin on them, but they'll carry a coffin. I'm trying to find a picture with a coffin. This may be a coffin right here. No, I'm trying to find a picture with a coffin. Okay, here's another good one. Bear with me for a minute. So the Roman Catholic Church funeral procession is nothing but an ancient Egyptian funeral procession. And we told you the origins of Roman Catholicism goes back to Egypt, and really the Greeks too, Greeks in Egypt. Trying to find a one with they do that with presidents too. With celebrities, they'll do an Egyptian funeral procession. Hey, when what's the name? Aretha Franklin died, they did a big Egyptian funeral procession, and they had her in a red dress. Then they changed it up and put her in a blue dress. Duality, right? The Bloods and the Crips, the red coats and the blue coats. Police officers, whalers are red, blue, and yellow, right? Duality, right? Red and blue are opposites of each other. Color, the opposite color of red is blue. Let me do this. Ancient Egyptian funeral coffin procession. I can't believe I can't find it. I just want to get you a good picture where they carry the body over the river Styx, so you can go into their paradise. Like they'll bring food for the Egyptian pharaoh. Okay, here's one. Egyptian funeral stock footage. Blah 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 blah. Valerie of the Kings. Rami Suim. Okay, so they carry him in a coffin that looks like him. Let me try this one. Bear with me for a minute, y'all. Why are ancient Egyptians portrayed as white when these are pictures of many Egyptians? Yeah, these are some real heathens, man. So here it is. So they carry the dead body. Ancient Egyptian funeral rites in the river Styx. So the funeral procession, when they carry the body, the people that are under them carrying the coffin are carrying him through the river Styx to the afterworld. That's why when they die, the riches go with them. So they show you that they're stupid people. Let me see, over the river Styx. And that's also Greek folklore, where they gave you money so you can pay the boatman, and that's supposed to be the dead body going over the river Styx. Funeral belief of the ancient Egyptians. So now, Pope Francis and the funeral. I'll just put that in. There it goes. Yeah, there it goes. Egyptian. There it goes. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you got to have 12. He represents the 13th. There, the cross goes back to Tha, which is Egyptian. Which you have the Ankh is a cross. You got somebody black as night. He happy to be a Roman Catholic. He messed up. He got to go. He got to die and come back. And that replicates them carrying him over the river Styx. This is all Egyptian folk. Here we go again. Look at that. Egyptian funeral procession. And they also represent the what's the god's name? Dagon, the fish god. This is supposed to be the Swiss god. This is a liturgy. These ain't nothing but Egyptians, man. Here's another one. It's nothing but Egyptians. It's all ancient Egyptian rites, funeral rites. And he's not burning in hell. Don't listen to Nate. He's in the spiritual realm. When he comes back in his next body, he's going into slavery if he's an Edomite or another nation. Just want to get some more. Let me look at this. So the majority of the earth is deceived, either by Islam or Christianity. Pope Francis' funeral on Saturday. How travelers can pay respects. You know what? Let me do this. What was I going to do? All Egyptian rites. How many Roman Catholics are in the world? There are an estimated almost 1.5 billion Roman Catholics in the world as of the late 2023. This represents an increase of 16.24 million Catholics from 2020. The global Catholic population is growing, particularly in Africa. Africa, you cannot compete with the Roman Catholics, Nate. This is why they threw rocks at your ass, because they want a Roman Catholic God. Excuse me. And America. So these people are gone, while Europe is experiencing a slight decrease. The Europeans are smart. They said, we ain't with that Roman Catholic shit. You guys are a bunch of, you guys are a bunch of stogies. Okay, let me do this. How many Christians are in the world today? Okay, you got 2.4 million, almost 2.5 billion. Billion, that's a big number. That's a big number. That represents what? Like 20%? Yeah, about 20% of the population. That's why the Most High, this kingdom is for many, the kingdom to come is for the few. The next kingdom is for the few. So the masses of the people, and a lot of Jakes are going to die. Let me do this. How many Christians are in America? Estimated 62% of U.S. adults identify as Christians. A lot of them is Jakes, representing roughly 150 million people. So if this is in America, we know that 150 million people are going to die plus. Let me see how many black Christians. Let me go black Christians. According to a survey conducted between November of 2019 and June of 2020, Pew Research found that wait a minute, that's a big number, 80, let's round it off to 80%. 80% of black American adults have a religious affiliation compared to 72% of American adults in general. And about 75% of black American adults identify as Christian. 60% Protestant, Christian, 6% Catholic, Christian. So among Jake, for every 100 Drakes out there, 75 of them are Christians. You can't compete with them. That's why they pulled out 9s on you in the church. There's a spirit on them. There's a demon on them. That's in Isaiah chapter 6. You can't wake them from out of a demon possession. You got to forget them. That's why I went to one of my favorite prophecies. One of them is Ezekiel chapter 37, because that's only dealing with a remnant. Let me look up the word remnant. Let me do it this way. Only a remnant will be saved. Bible. Romans 9. Okay, let's see what Romans 9:27 says. And the remnant, Romans 9:27. Romans 9:27. Another one of my favorite precepts, and this is an NLT. Okay, and concerning Israel, Isaiah the prophet cried out, though the people of Israel are as numbers as the sand of the sea shore, only a remnant will be saved. So among Jake, those numbers, for every 10 Jakes you see, 7 of them or 8 of them, damn near 8 of them, are what? Are some form of Christianity. I'm not finished with these numbers. So now let's go to the King James. Isaiah also crieth concerning Israel. He's talking about Israelites, not other nations. Though the number of the sons of Israel be as the sand of the sea, a remnant shall be saved. So only a remnant is going to be saved. A remnant is a small part of the whole. So the majority of our people that's here in America, they're going to die here eating a missile, along with Esau. Let's jump to the 29th verse. King James Version, Romans 9, verse 29. And as Isaiah said before, except Yahweh of Sabaoth of armies, troops, had left us a seed, we had been as Sodom and been made like unto Gomorrah, meaning destroyed. It's not talking about being a happy person. It's talking about you'll be totally destroyed. That's why the Most High got to save a remnant. He got to wake up, initiate, touch that pineal gland to wake you up. Isaiah, going back to Isaiah 6 and 9. The only reason why I know I'm an Israelite and I'm doing what I'm doing because the Most High put this. Well, I was like this from the foundation of the earth. The ones of you that can't make it, you are not of the elect. The Most High didn't give it to you. No matter what you show this guy, he ain't going to see it. So why take your ass to Africa for nothing? To get some rocks thrown in your ass. The focus is here in America. Ezekiel chapter 37. And I may even go into that. I got my list, you know me. Hey, but anyway, I'm going to say shalom. On to the next.